Okay, we're sitting here at Nitmuluk National Park, just waiting for the Gorge tour. This is out of Katherine, formerly called Katherine Gorge. We're just waiting to go out now, and Mrs. Spielberg and I unfortunately cheated because this is being filmed after we went on the gorge. And I've got to tell you,
turn it around and talk to it. So
what?
Turn it around and talk to it so I can see you.
Oh.
No, see you, I said.
Hello there.
You have to get your face on.
Mrs. Spielberg just likes getting her face on camera, so excuse that. But
And you don't.
yes, we kind of cheated because we're doing the introduction at the end, and so this is the introduction at the end. But it will be at the start of the video.
If we can work it out.
If we can, yeah, like that's if we can work it out. But anyhow, we've been to quite a few places, and this is definitely one of those places that you've got to visit. It's a great story, it's a great space, and you'll see from the following video what I guess Katherine Gorge or Nitmuluk Gorge is all about. It's a beautiful area, and the tour guide that we had on the boat was absolutely excellent, and she went to great lengths to make quite sure we understood what every part of the gorge that we visited was all about. So Mrs. Spielberg and I can highly recommend this. Highly recommend this. And in terms of how good it really is, all I can say is this is just another one of those oh fuck moments.
Don't swear.
Okay, we've come out to Nitmuluk National Park. This is the Katherine Gorge tours, and we've booked for the
Hurry up, we've only got 15 minutes.
as you can tell, Mrs. Spielberg is hurrying us up because we've only got 15 minutes to get onto the tour. So anyhow, we'll see you when we get onto the tour. We're just going into the reception.
Follow the path, it's so...
Sorry?
I
What?
don't know where we go. Follow the path. And we're going to be late. We're supposed to be there 15 minutes before.
Stay tuned for something very exciting.
I might come and try and have a snack. Have you seen any crocodiles on your trip? Did you go on a crocodile boat tour, or did you just see one while you were driving?
Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Very good. Good. Welcome to Nitmuluk National Park, home of the Jawoyn people. My name is Rachel, and for the next 2 hours we are going to be doing a 2-hour gorge cruise. 2-hour to gorge cruise, I should say. So before we get too far underway, I've got some mandatory safety to go through. and the unlikely event that we need to evacuate the vessel. I have life jacket compartments located at the front of the boat. I also have one located here at the back on my right hand side, which will be your left as you come towards the back. Now our emergency exits are not marked, but I'm thinking you can probably find them. Now anyway, to the left or anywhere to the right, you can take some selfies with the gorge as your backdrop. We like to call these gorgeous selfies. Just don't go past those two life jacket compartments at the front there. While I am pulling into and out of moorings, so I will get you to remain seated, just in case I get it horribly wrong. Now, to keep it thirsty today, I do have our water cooler in the back of the boat, located on my right hand side. Feel free to top up any water bottles. If you don't have a water bottle, I do have plenty of cups. If you overdo it on the water today, I have a marine toilet on board. This is located at the back of the boat on my left hand side. Now, the secret to this toilet is to open the door and lower your expectations. It is not a 5-star toilet, but it is better than hanging over the side of the boat. Now, all our vessels this morning are non-smoking. Now, you will be able to have a cigarette if you like as we walk between the first gorge and the second gorge. Just remember we are in a national park. You need to keep all your cigarette butts as well as any other rubbish on your person. You've been at the back of the boat on my right hand side. That is the gorge done and dusted. Let's get on with the tour. Now, where was I? John named all of these places. What he didn't realise was they already had names. And these names did come from the Jawan people. These are the people who've been living here for tens of thousands of years. For the Jawan, this river is known as Barrier. And Barrier means blue in Kookaburra. So in Jawan culture, a lot of place names come from animals that are very common in that area. So Eva Falls is known by Jawan as Lake. This means frill neck lizard.
Tell me, how do they zoom in? Good.
Sorry?
Do they zoom?
Yeah, they do.
They
Yeah,
do,
yeah.
Waterproof too, yeah?
Yeah, only down to, this one's down to 18 metres, yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Planes going through. English was their third or fourth language, so it was very difficult for them to express exactly how important this land was to them. Another boat. The walk is about 600 metres. It is mostly paved, but there are a few steps that can be a little uneven. So please watch your footing as you are going over, especially if you're going over toes. If you don't wish to take this walk, you do not have to. There's a gazebo set up on the jetty. There's plenty of chairs and water. So if you feel you're not up to the walk, you can definitely take it easy underneath the gazebo and we'll pick you up on the way back through. Once you get through to the second gorge, guys, I will just get you to remain off any of the
So we've got out at the gorge number 1 and we're just walking across to go into the boat at gorge number 2.
That's on the ceiling towards the back of the boat. Now I will start out by looking at this cliff face that's on the left-hand side, right hand side of us. This is called Jeddah Rock, or Jeddah's Leap, and it was named after a movie that was filmed here in 1955. That movie was called Jeddah. Has anyone seen it? No. So, it was a really important movie in Australian cinematic history. It was the first movie to be filmed entirely in colour, first Australian movie, and it was the first Australian movie to feature Indigenous people in the lead role. Now this movie, it touches on some important Indigenous topics. Those topics are loyalty and kinship. So, to put it simply, because it's a very complex topic, it's a set of rules and regulations that dictate a person's social standing. It says who they can have relationships with and what sort of relationships they are. Now, in the movie, Jeddah was an Indigenous girl brought up on a cattle station. One day, an Indigenous stockman came to work on the station whose name was Marbach. Now Marbach developed feelings for Jeddah, but these two had the same skin name. Now when two people have the same skin name, they are considered brother and sister, even though they are not related by blood. Any kind of romantic relationship is forbidden to them. So that's about as much of the plot as I'm going to give away for now. I'll leave you on a cliffhanger. I do have one more interesting fact about the movie, and that was that when they were flying the film over to the States to be edited, it got damaged along the way and they lost the ending to the movie. Now they couldn't afford to come back to the Northern Territory to reshoot it, so they went to the Blue Mountains instead and painted the backdrop orange. Now we have had a couple of other movies and TV shows filmed here as well. In 2007, a movie called Rogue was filmed here. Has anyone seen that one? A couple of people. Rogue is a lovely, light-hearted movie about a boatload of tourists being terrorised by an 8-metre saltwater crocodile. Now it does have a happy ending because the tour guide survives. Now, a little more recently than that, we had My Top End Wedding filmed up here with Miranda Topsell. And then we've also had an episode of The Amazing Race, an episode of MasterChef, and also Rental have been here and they filmed a record-breaking jump off Jeddah Rock up there. Now, while we're in the second gorge, I'm going to tell you a couple of stories about how the gorge was formed. First of these stories will be the scientific story, and then I will tell you the Jawan story. So this rock that we are surrounded by, it is called Cambodia Formation Sandstone. At its oldest, it is 1.65 billion years old. So it is 1,650 million, give or take a day or two. This rock is so old there are no fossils in it as it predates multicellular life. Now 1.65 billion years ago, this sandstone was all underground. Sorry, this is a large river delta system, I'm jumping ahead of myself. A lot of sand being washed around, which settled on the bottom of the river. And then some more sand settled on top of that, until eventually the weight of all this sand caused it to compress and fuse together. That little bird just ahead of us is called a little pied cormorant. Now when it first formed, this sandstone was underground until about 25 million years ago when a series of earthquakes pushed it up. So the sandstone is just full of these crisscrossing fracture lines. If you look at it from above, it does slightly resemble an irregular block of chocolate. A lot of our merchandise, from t-shirts to teaspoons. There's a section of the river known as Katherine Canyon, although technically it isn't a canyon. Now this corner of the gorge holds a lot of cultural significance for the Jawoyn people. Has everyone here heard of the Dreamtime? Now the Dreamtime is a time of creation. The Jawoyn know it as Bur or Bur, depending on your dialect. And there are a couple of creational beings who are responsible for making the gorge the way it is today. And the most well-known of these is the rainbow serpent. Now the rainbow serpent, a lot of people think there's just one for the whole of Australia, but there are many, many different ones. Every mob will have their own rainbow serpent. Everywhere you go, have a different name. In Perth, it's known as Gorge. In West Arnhem Land, it's known as Agua. And here in Jawoyn country, his name is Bolong. So he looks slightly different wherever you go, and he'll have a different creation.
Yeah.
We have an Australasian darter over there on the left-hand side of the boat, just on the bank there. That one is a female, and you can tell because her chest is white. Males have a black or brown chest. You often see these birds on the trees, on the rocks, with their wings spread out. That's because they are not waterproof, their wings, and they need to dry them every time they've been in the water before they can fly again. Now as we head back down the second gorge, I'm going to go quiet for a little while, give you a break from my voice.